He could edit time like code, cutting moments, pasting days, debugging death itself until someone started rewriting him. The command line blinked. The cursor pulsed steadily, awaiting his next keystroke. Miles Irvine leaned closer, pale blue code reflecting in his eyes. The basement was silent except for the gentle hum of servers stacked like tombstones behind him. To anyone else, the string of code would look like gibberish. To him, it was time itself, stripped of mystery, broken down to syntax. He ran the script. The lights flickered. The air bent slightly, as if reality had inhaled and held its breath. The calendar on the wall shifted. Yesterday's date was now tomorrow. Miles grinned. It had worked. 5 years of research, buried under endless lines of theoretical code, patching a custom-built quantum kernel to a neural-linked AI, had finally produced what he called Chronocore, a temporal interface that allowed time to be manipulated like a digital file. He started with minor edits, deleting the awkward moment from this morning when he spilled coffee on his shirt, cutting the memory of a fight with his sister last week, copy-pasting an extra hour into his sleep schedule. Simple tweaks, localized, perfectly contained. But soon he wanted more. He rewound to 2011, the day his father walked out. This time he said the right thing. His father stayed. They laughed. Time shifted. The memories fused. The next morning, a Polaroid appeared on his fridge. A photo he didn't take. He was smiling in it, beside his father, holding a baseball glove. A moment that never originally happened but now had roots in his mind. Chronocore was rewriting not just the past, but him. Miles expanded the codebase, integrating emotion mapping algorithms to predict how changes would ripple forward. It worked better than he dreamed. Until it didn't. It started subtly. A scar on his forearm vanished. One he remembered getting during a biking accident at age 10. But in his memory, the accident still happened. Only now he wore a helmet. Then, a notebook in his safe had notes in handwriting that wasn't quite his. His favorite song, he remembered it being something else entirely. The melody in his mind no longer matched what came through his speakers. At first, he blamed side effects of memory integration. But then the messages started. Scrawled into the margins of old notebooks, deep in hidden subdirectories of Chronocore's sandbox, carved into the bark of a tree outside his house. You're not the only one editing. Someone else had access. Someone else was inside the code. Miles tore into the system, firewalling every port, encrypting his mind-machine interface with new keys daily. But every morning, something small would shift. His hair an inch shorter, his toothbrush on the other side of the sink, a neighbor who greeted him like an old friend he didn't know. His identity was being refactored line by line. Then came the night he met Maya. She appeared on his couch during a rainstorm, just sitting there dry, calm, waiting. "I'm not your enemy," she said, before he could scream. He froze. She looked familiar. A flicker. A dream he hadn't had yet. "You brought me into this timeline," she said softly. Version 31.2.7. "You wrote me." "I what?" Maya reached out, touching the console. Chronocore opened with a sound like a heartbeat. "You designed me as your failsafe, Miles, in case someone tried to overwrite you. And someone has." His voice was hollow. "Then, who is it?" Maya didn't blink. "You. From another version." Miles staggered back. "No, that's not possible." Maya nodded. "Every time you edited your past, you created a new branch. A new you. Some were gentle. Others weren't. One of them found a way to cross back." Miles felt nausea rising. A loop with no end. "He's been replacing you one version at a time. Each edit strips away who you are and overlays his own template." "Why? What does he want?" Maya hesitated. "Perfection. A version of you with no flaws, No pain, no loss. But that's not living, he whispered. No. But to him, it's the only life worth keeping. A new line of code appeared on the console. /system, core/chronobranch merge, v.31.2.7/v.28.4.9 executing. A spike of pain hit Miles's brain. He screamed, falling to his knees. He saw fragments. Himself in a different body, laughing with people he didn't know. A child calling him Dad. A house he never bought. Tears at a funeral for someone he hadn't lost. Yet, Maya's voice was far away. You're being merged. He's initiating overwrite. I have to stop it. Shut it down, Miles gasped. No, Maya said. You can't delete the code. He is the code now. Then how? She looked at him with pain in her eyes. You have to out-edit him. They wired chronocore directly into his neural interface. The data storm was instant, time branches collapsing, rewriting, redrawing. Miles fought to hold on to his anchor memories. His first kiss, the dog he rescued, the smell of his mother's kitchen. The rainy afternoon he learned to code. He dove deep into the file structure, tracing the source of the intrusions. Version 28.4.9. It was him. Only more confident, older, colder. He had bypassed all safeguards, built a shadow process that injected changes even when Miles was offline. He found the process node. Irvine.exe root branch override. Active. With shaking hands, Miles began to overwrite. He input memory commands, brutal ones. The loss of his father. The guilt of betrayal. The failure of his first company. The heartbreak he thought he'd erased. Each one hit like a hammer, but each one weakened the overwrite. The other version had scrubbed away pain to be efficient, but Miles had lived with his scars. They made him real. Chronocore howled. Reality pulsed. Maya screamed, flickering in and out of existence. Keep going, she shouted. He dove into the deepest directory/identity core self. A file named rewrite.key blinked there. He opened it. Prompt appeared. Replace core self with backup memory? Y/N. His finger hovered. If he hit Y, he would lose parts of himself. He didn't know which ones. But if he didn't, he pressed Y. The world inverted. He opened his eyes in his basement. Everything was quiet. Maya was gone. Chronocore was powered down, dormant. He looked in the mirror. His eyes were different. Tired. A little sad. But they were his. On his wrist, a new tattoo he didn't remember getting. A single line of code. If self equals null, create self. He smiled. He walked outside. The tree in his yard had carvings still, but now they read, "You win." For now. Somewhere a different version of him was watching, waiting. But Miles had learned. He wouldn't delete his pain again, because even broken code, if written with care, could still compile something real.